The Celestine Prophecy, An Adventure is a 1993 novel by James Redfield that discusses various psychological and spiritual ideas based on multiple ancient Eastern traditions and New Age spirituality. The main character of the story goes on a journey to find and understand a series of 9 spiritual insights in an ancient manuscript in Peru. This book sold over 5 million copies worldwide and spent 165 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. Here are the 9 spiritual insights from the novel. The first insight is critical mass. Often you have a hunch or intuition about something you want to do and wonder how it might happen. And then suddenly you meet someone or read something or go somewhere which leads you to an opportunity that you have been thinking of. Such coincidences seem destined, as though our life is being guided by some unexplained force. There is a critical mass of individuals who experience their lives as a spiritual unfolding, a journey in which we are led forward by mysterious coincidences. The second of the insights is called the longer now. 1,000 years ago, we lived in a world where God and spirituality were clearly defined. And then we became preoccupied with the purpose of settling into the world and making ourselves more comfortable. For the last 400 years, man created a world which was technologically advanced and where all comforts of life could be produced. While this phase was necessary, the real purpose of human life is awakening to life's coincidences and spiritual evolution. We now have the opportunity to shape an inspirational life for generations to come. The third insight is a matter of energy. The universe is made up of pure energy that responds to human intention and expectations. It is as though our expectations itself causes our energy to flow out into the world. As we open up to coincidences and intuitive guidance, we realize we share minds with one another and the divine. Our path in life lies not in ruling others or just taking what we want. It lies in always looking out for the best interests of others, and at the same time, trying to understand what they need in order to manifest their dreams. If we give them this information, it feels synchronistic to them. What's more, when we practice improving in this way, it creates an immediate karmic effect in our lives. When we help others, we karmically begin to attract people into our lives who act the same way. They in turn help us. These people are also being given intuitive suggestions of how they can help us. We experience their help as exactly what is needed at a particular moment to support our destined flow in life. The fourth insight is called the struggle for power. It builds on the previous insight, which says that everything is energy. Often we see the human world as a vast competition for energy and so for power. The fourth insight points out that for a long time, humans have been unconsciously competing for the only part of the energy we have been open to, the energy that flows between people. Conflict occurs when humans feel the need to control and dominate one another. When we control another human being, we receive their energy. We fill up our energy levels at others' expense, and this filling up is what motivates us and makes us feel better. What we don't realize is that we do this at the cost of others, and we have stolen their energy. Most people go through their lives in a constant hunt for someone else's energy. That's why most relationships eventually turn into power struggles. Once humans understand this struggle, they could break free from the competition over mere human energy, because we could finally open to receive energy from the divine source. The fifth insight, the message of the mystics. Insecurity and violence ends when we experience an inner connection with the divine energy within us, a connection which is described by mystics of all traditions. The fifth insight shows us that an alternative source of energy exists. Through prayer, meditation, music, connecting with nature, we could achieve a breakthrough and connect with that divine energy which moves us past our normal consciousness. We must learn to consciously fill up with this divine energy, because this is the energy that brings on coincidences and synchronicities. The sixth insight is clearing the past. The first step in getting clarity for each of us is to first clear our past and to understand our control dramas. We can't really proceed forward until we discover what we are doing to manipulate energy. Each one of us has to go into the past to see how our control dramas got created in our formative years. Each person must reinterpret his family experience from a spiritual point of view and discover themselves. Look past the energy competition that existed in your family and search for the real reason you were born in that family. What lesson was your family situation teaching you? What are the lessons your life journey has taught you? Once we become aware of the unconscious dramas we play, we can find a higher meaning and purpose for our lives. We all have a spiritual purpose, a mission that we have been pursuing without being fully aware of it, and once we become aware of it, our lives gain meaning. The seventh insight is engaging the flow. Once we understand our personal mission, it further enhances the flow of coincidences to show us the path. Events, people come into our lives and guide us to our destinies. Sometimes we are guided by our intuitions, an intuitive knowing that asks to sometimes meet or talk to the right person or be at the right place. Intuitions come from a superior part of our intelligence. They naturally appear in the back of our minds as clarifying ideas on how to proceed. Sometimes they seem too random, spontaneous, and not logical, but upon reflection, they seem to apply perfectly to the situation at hand. Mindfulness is required to connect to our intuitions. The eighth insight is the interpersonal ethic. We can increase the frequency of guiding coincidences by uplifting every person that comes into our lives. Uplifting others is especially effective in groups where each member can feel the energy of the others. We must actively uplift others. As a result, not only is the other person lifted into a greater level of experience, they are more likely to provide some message they have for us. If everyone were practicing this virtue of uplifting others, we would quickly accelerate the spiritual transformation of the world. The eighth insight also warns against your growth being stopped when you become addicted to another person, especially romantically. In toxic relationships, you lose your connection with the universe. The ninth insight is the emerging culture. As we all evolve towards our spiritual missions, technology will automate work and allow humans to focus instead on spiritual growth. The ninth insight depicts a human world where everyone has slowed down and become more spiritually aware. Mankind is on this planet to consciously evolve. And as we evolve and pursue our particular path, the overall culture will transform. If we correctly follow our intuitive guidance, then we will take only what we need from this earth. Humans will enter higher energy states, ultimately transforming our bodies into spiritual form and ending the cycle of birth and death and evolve generation by generation to inspire heavenly life on earth. In conclusion, if you are looking to find inner peace and spiritual guidance, then read this book, The Celestine Prophecy. For more such content, subscribe to Wisdom Stories Unlimited.